and welcome back to my channel. I'm Donna Norris, Soul Level Intuitive. Glad you're here. Hello, Carl. Hello, Joe. Brina41. It's nice to see you guys. I was just about to do a little card reading for the month of August. I just feel it. It's like my soul is telling me that August is going to be a turning point. I don't know about y'all, but I have felt like most of this year I have just been buffeted by one thing after another. June was especially emotional and rough for me, and July has been, encountering all kinds of other people with super sensitive responses and egos and just weird stuff. Anyway, I feel like August is going to be one of those months where and my guides are saying, my soul is saying, it's going to be new, it's going to be different, it's going to be a shift. So I wanted to just do a card reading from each of my favorite 3 decks right now, just one card from each one, to see what each of these decks and the oracles within them have to tell us for August, just going into August. The first one, something on my teeth, sorry. The first one is from Wisdom of the Oracle, and it kind of supports what I said. It's fork in the road. And it's like, it's going to come a time where we're going to be choosing, and all those flags up at the top is a harbinger of change. There's change a coming. And so there's a little monkey. You can get him off your back if you choose to. And so it's my opinion. Hi, Venus. Nice to see you. Hi, Pure Joy LN. It's nice to see you. And Jessica Lynn, I'm glad you're here. But from the Secret Language of Animals Oracle cards for the month of August, I get Albatross. And the Albatross is all about faith and endurance, hope. It's just really a beautiful card and journey. And birds in general come to us to show us about freedom and about independence and about looking at things from obviously the higher perspective. So I really think that, August is going to be a good month for us to look at things from a bigger picture perspective. And we're still in Mercury retrograde for the first 10 days. So I think you can use that time to refine, retrograde is that time of that I've talked about before, retooling and refining, what it is that you want to do and what you want to go after. So the last one I'm going to draw from is Angel Tarot by Doreen Virtue, just to see what her energy and the angels have to say. Oh my God, this is awesome. 10 of Earth. 10 of Earth is like, woohoo. This is all about money, home, hearth, the 3D career, things like that, having to do with that. And it's a very happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things. And you can see the fairies are happy, the angels are happy. Everything is coming up literally roses. So according to the Angel Tarot for the month of August. So I think, wouldn't that be nice? The country as a whole is probably still going to be in a state of flux, but we don't have to be. We can chart our own course and make our own plan. And, things are going to turn out the way they're going to turn out on the national level. We only have a modicum of control over how that works out, but we have every bit of control over how we choose to move forward in that energy and make it our own. So with that being said, yay for a good month is right. Yeah. And hi, Sherry Nighty, and hi, Georgianne and Angela. So glad y'all are here. Thank you. I got my fancy professional glasses on. I don't wear these very often. I don't dress up that much anymore, but I did today. So anyway, thank you. I'm going to go back and see if I can do some readings. Good morning, Carl. I think I sent you a note, or everybody a note in the chat. Do my guides and angels, whoops, keep forgetting. Show it so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Joe Lombardi says, do my guides and angels have a message for me? Let's just see what they have to say. If you all have specific questions, they can get specific with answers too. So, and I'll be glad to check in with your guides. There is, it's sort of like you've been under, I don't want to say rain cloud. It's just been like cloudy skies, so to speak, in your world, but there's a break and the sun is shining through. The sun is breaking through. Um, this is what the guides are showing me. It's like the way is parting. Things are opening up, according to your guides. Woo, goodness sakes. And here is another card for you, Joe, and it's about release. Archangel Azrael, he is the Archangel of Comfort. He is also the Archangel, this doesn't really apply to you in this situation so much, but he's also the angel that escorts people from this realm into the spirit realm when they cross over. You know, if you don't have a person in particular that you'd like to meet you, Archangel Azrael is always there with your guides to help you to the other side. But it's the end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, and time to move on. So whatever has been going on is wrapping up. And that is the angel's message for you. So yeah, I think, like they said, you know, the skies are opening up, things are shifting. So fasten your seatbelt and smile, because it's going to be a good thing. So good. I hope you like that answer. I hope that makes sense and resonates for you. And thank you for the question. Brina would like to know, can I get a message from my cat, Jazzy? Thanks. I love that name. Jazzy. So Jazzy comes in, and I'm smelling fish, and she's like dragging a fish. So I'm not sure if seafood is already on her diet plan. Maybe she's asking for some fish oil on her existing food, or asking for a change to seafood. But yeah, I definitely am smelling fish, like sardines, like that kind of, you know, an oily fish. But anyway, it's interesting. Other message? Any getting message? There is something in her way on a windowsill, or a place where she can sit up high and look, and she would like you to move that. She's not going to knock it off the ledge, but it feels like a window ledge energetically. Yeah, so thank you. I hope that helps. I hope she gets her looking spot, her observation post. Let's see, what else? Jessica Lynn, looking forward to change. Oh, me too, me too. Thank you again, Angela. Here's another one from Georgianne Lebeau. Why is my cat Zimba having so much asthma? Let's see. Well, as I tune into Zimba, it's like I want to swallow, but I can't quite swallow. You know how sometimes when you've got, it's like allergies, and you want to clear your sinuses or whatever, and you just want to swallow it, and you just can't. That's how it feels. I also feel like hardness down through the bronchial area. And I feel like, I don't know how long this has been going on for Zimba, but I know in the past week, if you're anywhere along the East Coast, or even I think it's made it as far as the Midwest now, but the Saharan winds from Africa have blown across the Atlantic Ocean, and they hit here on the East Coast last week. And a lot of us have been stuffed up, and, you know, to one of my dogs, my small dog, and his daughter, who also lives here, they've both been sick and had to go to the vet. So, and they've had the same kind of issues and upset stomach. It kind of like, yeah, anyway. But it's all related to this. And if you haven't had any rain, it also doesn't help because it's just floating in the air the longer we go. I'm not sure if that makes sense for you or if that's applicable to where you are in the country, but I just feel with Zimba like stuffy. And I know that that's not the same thing as asthma. This is what she's showing me. So thank you. I love that name. Yours and hers. That's pretty cool. Hi, Donna and everyone. Hi, Sherry Neidig. Yes, goodbye to July for sure. No kidding. Almost there. Tomorrow's the last day. I was wondering if I could get a message from my guides and angels. Thank you. Absolutely. Let's see what your guides have to say. I'm seeing, believe it or not, I'm seeing like upside down. It's almost like you're being asked to look at something from a completely opposite perspective as the way you've been seeing it or the way you've been thinking about it. And it seems like to me it has something to do with your current surroundings. Maybe it's time to rejig. We're still in the time of rejig the furniture or print pictures or garden or something. I did a garden project over the weekend. In spite of the fact that I now feel stuffy from being outside so much, I feel 100% better. It's like instant gratification, plant some flowering plants and see things grow and stuff like that. So, but this to me feels like it's more like an interior environment shift. There's some calls that you need to make. Somebody, it feels like an old friend, especially to touch base with somebody that's been on your mind. So that would be a good thing to do. This person is going to be really glad that you called, especially. This is one of those friends. I don't know if you guys have these kind of friends that you've known them so long that you could go for a couple of years because life gets busy and you get caught up in stuff. And then you pick up the phone and call them and it's like no time ever went by. You don't have to build the clock, to tell the time. You can just pick up where you left off. It feels like one of those kind of friends, Sherry. So reading here, woo, cool. From the Angel Tarot deck, I picked for you, or the guides did, they sent you the Queen of Fire. And she is confident, warm, intelligent. Look at how cool she is. And those amazing wings. And it's like, stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and your creativity. And I know you've got creativity in spades. So grab that queenly energy that you are inside. You are a queen. Own it. Wear it. Wear it on your face in the form of a smile. Wear it with your shoulders back, and your head held high, and just be the queen. Take that passion and direct it. So, and I hope in that new perspective, and I think you'll be really happy. So it'd be really interesting to see as you look inside yourself and your soul and ask your soul what it is they want you to look at differently and see what comes up for you. So I hope that resonates and I hope everything works out the way they say it will. Thank you. Thank you for the question. And Venus would like to hear a message from her guides. Okay. So maybe it's because I just recently saw like footage of the Tour de France, but it's like you're on a bike and you're just riding as fast as you can ride. And you're coming up, it's almost over. You're going to get off the bike. I don't know if you do spinning at the gym or something. It's time to get off the bike. It's just about time to get off the bike. And then you're going to get a little bit of time to rest and recharge. Well earned. But this is, they want you to know that they're lifting you up and giving you whatever it is that you need in the way of support and stamina and, instincts to get you through this time while you're still pedaling as fast as you can. So thank you. I hope that helps. Steve B. Hi, it's nice to see you. See you. I'd love to actually be able to see y'all. One of these days, it'd be cool if they can turn these things into like Zoom, where I could actually see you. Let's see. Would it be possible to get a message from my spirit guides? Thank you. Absolutely. Oh, you've got a bird on your icon. Nice little thing about freedom and independence. I'm seeing you're going down the road of life, right? And you're going to have a curve coming up. And you're just going to ride it. You know how sometimes you can take those curves on the highway and they say that they're 40 miles an hour, but you can take them at 45 or 50 and it feels kind of fun, Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's going to be one of those that you can just lean into and go with the flow on this curve. You're going to take it in stride. Water off a duck's back. So with that being said, not to leave you out of the whole card scenario, I'm going to draw a card from Wisdom of the Oracle from Call It Baron Reed and see what she says. Well, not she, but the Oracle, relative to the messages from your guides. Woo, yes, absolutely. Co-create. This is your time to make the magic happen. See that owl? That owl sees through the things on the surface and gets to the heart of the matter. So you're going to be able to look at, and there's change in the wind too, more flags. And you're like the apex predator up here getting ready to happen to life. So again, refine that vision, get your game plan, or just keep your game face on if you're already working your plan, and enjoy the ride. So it sounds good. It sounds good. Feels good too. I hope that helps. Jessica Lynn says, I have decided that I will eventually move on from my current position, but I'm still figuring out what that will look like as I want to work for myself. Woo, Lord, good for you. Any advice for my guides? Yeah, let's see what they say. This is going to be a service profession that you are meant to lead from a place of contribution and service as opposed to a product. I mean, you may still have products in whatever it is you choose to do for yourself, but this is going to be about offering a service. And it's going to be one of those things where they're showing me, that game of telephone we used to play when we were small, where one person would whisper something into that person's ear and then the next and the next and the next. That's sort of how your business is going to grow, word of mouth. It's not going to turn into a completely different message from the beginning person to the end person like it does in the game, but it's just, they're just showing me like people talking to each other, telling each other about you and what it is that you bring to the table. So I'd love to hear more about what it is you're thinking about doing. Yeah, that would be a really good topic for a 1 hour reading. And so looking into, what your strengths are, maybe, what you might want to think about working through in anticipation of doing something like that. Because oftentimes the stumbling blocks that, speaking as a self-employed person, the stumbling blocks that I've run into have been not just things from this life, but things from past lives, lessons that I'm coming into this body as Donna Norris to learn this time around. And so if you can at least know what those are, you can better deal with them, name it, claim it, and let it go, so to speak. It loses its power once you understand more about it, and your soul will be able to point those things out to you. So anyway, I hope that helps. Woo, working for yourself. That is exciting. And I'll be holding space for you and ready to help you any way I can. Thank you, Jessica Lynn. Good luck. Angela C says, do my guides have any message from me, for me probably, about what to focus on over the next couple of months? Thank you so much. Let's see. So they're looking down as they're walking, almost like in a meditative walk, contemplation. Moving around. So what I'm seeing is like a path. And as these three guides are walking in like triangle formation, they're coming to down this path, come to a tree, and you just kind of go around the tree, staying in the flow. I guess if you're looking down, you're not going to fall into any potholes, right? You're going to know that something's there to walk around. See it coming. I also feel like there's something coming up in the way of like a trip or transportation. I don't know if you're thinking about getting a new car, or if this is just about maybe a road trip, but take it and give yourself some, whether you take the trip or not, or you actually go somewhere, it's like taking some time for leisure. And leisure, things like you don't normally give yourself time for, whether that's reading a book on the beach or, walking along the forest or, through the parks, hiking. I don't know what you like to do, but just give yourself some time to get out in nature and enjoy some leisure time away from a computer, away from a cell phone, away from the news, and just enjoying the beauty and looking at, in spite of everything that's wrong with the world, there's a heck of a lot of awesome stuff that's still gorgeous and right about it. So recharge your battery. Okay. So thank you, Angela C. I hope that helps. Let's see who's next. Pure Joy LN. Look at that puppy. What do my guides want me to take as the next step toward my next phase of life? Which I don't know what that phase is. Thank you. Okay. What do my guides want me to take as the next step, next best step? Thank you, toward my next phase. Oh my God. It's like you have a big team, Pure Joy LN. There's not two or three. You have a cadre of people here right now. The answer is what makes your heart smile? While you may enjoy what it is that you've been doing, the next thing is like something that really excites you. And I'm seeing art. I don't know if you have thought about taking up art, painting, sketching, drawing, sculpting, pottery, stained glass, anything like that in the way of a creative endeavor. But they're like, it's like seeing sparks, like, sparking creativity, doing something like that. Perhaps it's the hobby as the next step to sort of illuminate the direction in which you actually end up wanting to go when you get to that next phase. But it was, we all have to transition somehow in some way, right? And so with them, they're saying is to transition into this next phase by doing things that spark your creativity. Okay. And there's lots. And the energy vibration signatures look like you've got some deceased loved ones here. You've got some guides here, people that have been called in. So Right on. I love it when I see a big guide team like that. That's pretty cool. It's my opinion, would like to know, hi, cool picture. Do you mentor? I do, but it kind of depends on the topic. But I do offer intuitive counseling and guidance to help mentor. And yeah, if you've got a specific thing you want to work toward, yes, I do. And I do it from a soul health model perspective. I believe that soul health equals whole health. And as long as we are looking inside ourselves, our higher self will tell us what it is that it needs for us to live the most radiant life we can, the most inspired, and a life that excites us. So if we just, sometimes there are things to clear out of the way to get us to that point, and we can go through with the soul health model. You kind of just go through looking at the different branches of your life, and what you think is fine, and what you think you'd like to up level, and where you feel like you've already up leveled. And yeah, it's a little bit more involved than what I can do here in a 5 minute, but yes, I definitely do mentor. So you can go to donnanorris.net, and under services you can book an intuitive counseling, and that's just where my angels and guides will work together with your angels and guides to help tackle what's on your agenda, to help you get past it and get you to a place of thriving. So thank you for the question. Vivian, hi. Oh my gosh. Thanks for coming on live. You're welcome. Do my guides have a message for me? I have been seeing repeating numbers. Oh, I love when that happens. 111, 222. Yeah. Multiple times every day lately. Do they just want to say hi? Yeah, well, there's that. And then different repeaters mean different things, and I don't have them memorized. I don't see a lot of repeating numbers, or I would probably have them memorized, but I do see 333 a lot. And I have this, for a long time, had this habit of waking up in the middle of the night, and it was 3:33 a.m. Oh gosh, way too early to stay up, but sometimes harder to get back to sleep, because I would be like, so like it happened again kind of feeling, kind of halfway wakes you up, you know. But anyway, let's see what your guides have to say from Wisdom of the Oracle. Not that I want to neglect the secret language of animal cards, because those are cool too, but this is the one I feel for you right now, Vivian. Chop wood. This is all about keeping your side of the street clean, looking at your relationships, and, the things that are going on in your life. Maybe looking at what you want to shift or change, where you want to limit your time, or with whom you might want to limit your time, and with who you might want to spend more time. But chop wood is about like doing the footwork, keeping your side of the street clean, hence the broom, and doing that, taking that evaluative step. Because this is all, here's regeneration. It looks like a burned up cinder, but it's actually, there's new growth on it, if you can see. So from the ashes of that chop wood exercise, you're going to come out with a new lease on life, a new fresh perspective, and somewhere, new and fun and exciting, something that gets you excited about getting up in the morning. Yeah. Time to take stock. Keep your side of the street clean, or get it clean, and decide where you want to prioritize your time and with whom. Yeah. And they say they're happy with that. So thank you. Thank you. Good question. I wish I knew more about the 111222. If anybody else in here knows, please feel free to type in what they mean. Oh, Gina says, hi, Donna, and all the chatters. Hi, Gina. Hey, Vivian. Another Vivian. Ooh, you know a lot of these people in here. That's awesome. Taylor Knight says, any advice for next step with my dog, Bella? She is still wobbly, and regular vet found nothing in all labs normal. That's really interesting. as as Bella comes in, the first thing that I feel from her is just so much love, like this big magenta cord that's tied to you, and just wants to be there for you, to support you. I just feel like with her, what she's trying to show me is like in her body and in her head, it's like when the nerve endings, touch each other, they're just not, sometimes they miss, and she's just a little like foggy, not as sharp, because their things are not sparking like they normally do. They have to use very rudimentary signals with me on medical stuff because I don't speak doctor. So it's just like normally, the energy and the thoughts and everything would be flowing like this, ka-chung, and on down the road. But sometimes it's missing, not quite hitting the mark. But she still likes walking. I hope that she's still able to get out with you and walk, or get out and walk, do her little patrol. So I feel like she has a place she likes to check. And it's sort of like her circuit, if you know what I mean. I hope that helps, Taylor. Let me see what the animal cards have to say. I'm glad the labs are normal. That's really good. She's sort of like if you get headaches and you can't really explain why you get headaches. It's almost like something like that. She's not really sure where it's coming from either. This is the card that the animals brought you. Is Gaia, Mother Gaia, that Mother Earth. Harmony, abundance, wholeness, and forgiveness. So I don't know, that message is for you. Is there something where where there's not harmony, lack of harmony, maybe a little concern about, lack of abundance? But I wonder if you can come to a place of peace and calm about harmony and wholeness and abundance, if that wouldn't also, because Bella is so dialed into you and your emotions and what's going on with you, that when you get to a place of more peace about it, maybe that would help her to settle and help her brainwaves to settle. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to sound like it's anything dire, but I do feel like it might be tied to your energy. Thank you, Taylor. And I still love my blanket. Y'all, Taylor is the one that owns the company that does the blankets. Some Georgianne says Zimba is on the West Coast, but allergies make sense. Okay, good. And Venus, I think you were the Tour de France rider, working nonstop. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. Making me tired just thinking about it. It's great to catch. It's great to be live. Thank you. You're welcome, Sweet Bee. Oh, Jazzy died. Well, I wonder if Jazzy was the one with the fish. Maybe she's fishing. She came in really strong. I smelled fish, and she brought a fish. So that's really cool. Sometimes if you guys could help me out, since I'm trying to do these in a really, I don't want to say quick and dirty, but a really fast format, it's easier for me to dial right in if you let me know if they're living or deceased. So thanks. Sherry said, I did get 2 new eye lenses with the cataract surgery in July, so maybe that's seeing things differently. Yeah, maybe so. I'm just so sick of all the eye drops and waiting for the effects. Yeah, I guess. So hopefully it's almost over. Glad the surgery went well. Ooh, and Brina says, you're going to love it when you get through with the eye drops. My mom only needed glasses for reading. Ooh, that's going to be awesome. Wouldn't it be nice if I get, oh God, just to not have to wear glasses all the time? I would love that. But I think the way the doctor keeps saying, no, I have the kind of whatever it is, eye problem that LASIK and all that kind of stuff doesn't work for me. And I don't have cataracts. Bummer. But I'm glad yours are going to help you, Sherry. That's awesome. Your surgery is great. Jessica Lynn says, thank you. You are welcome. And I'd love to book a reading and talk to you a little bit more in depth. And Angela, thinking about taking a vacation in September. Right on. Give yourself some leisure time. I'm not sure what this means. Finger red number 1. Vivian, I hope you understand. Carl, message from my guides for what's in store for me these coming days. Will a deal come through to help me move into a safe place for me and my cats, or any source of funds will come up? You bet. Oh my God, I just thought about you're on the Pacific, and have you had any problems with the tsunami? Because I know there was an earthquake off the coast of Russia, and Hawaii was bracing for tsunami. And the west coast of the U.S. was bracing for tsunami. And I saw where, I don't know, Bangladesh or somewhere, it had just just huge Mondo tidal wave come through. And a town off the coast of Russia had a huge surge too. So I hope you're okay, and I hope you're on high ground. I'm shuffling cards. Let's see what these cards have to say. Got the animal secrets for you. See the back? Cats. Big cat. This is like a praying mantis stick insect. Stillness and awareness. Composure and discernment. It sounds like you're going to have some choices to make. What's the next one? Oh. Orange blossom jellyfish, which is about illuminating the way. So something is going to be made clear and path will be lighted. I'm going to go to the angel cards just real quick to see what it says about the move and source of funds. Three of Water. The Three of Water is awesome. Now, it's all about love and celebration, and it's a card of the suit of emotions, but it's about celebrating and the need to have more fun. So I hope that you'll be celebrating finding a new place or getting some new revenue coming in. Just for those of y'all that don't know, Carl also has a YouTube channel, and it's all about his cats. So Carl, if you want to type in the name of your channel here in the chat, people can come and hopefully hit like and subscribe and help him build his viewership. But he rescues cats and takes in all kinds of cats, and he does a really fabulous job in the town where he lives, and would like to see him be able to find some support for that so that he can afford to take care of them and take in some more and have some safe arrangements. So we'll all be holding space for that, Carl, but it's looking pretty good. Three of Water. So thank you for that. Pure Joy Ellen said somehow I knew that. I think it's time for a 1-1. Thanks. Oh, thank you. Blessings. Hi, Blessings. What's going on with my cat, Inari? She can be so sweet and cuddly and then decide now's a good time to bite you. She's about 3 years old and adopted from a shelter. How can I help her? Let's see what's going on with Inari. Ooh, Inari is coming in with like much gratitude, and what she's doing is like integrating into what she considers her new pack with you. And this little lovey and then bite is like a boundary setting test. So it's your opportunity to set a boundary, withdraw, walk away, turn away, and say, nope, not acceptable. You know, that cuddling bites are no good. But this is sort of like how she finds her place in it's seeing like a stair step, like in the hierarchy. But she's got this bed that she feels like fits her body. You know, it's almost like oval shape, like when she curls up, it's perfect. I hope that makes sense for you, and I hope you know how much she's happy with being in your home. So thank you for adopting her. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it, and thank you for the question. Would you be able to tell me, Forest Dreams, hi Forest Dreams, would you be able to tell me how my dog Taz and cat Phoebe are doing in their afterlife? Yeah, I can sure do that. So as Taz comes in, he's doing like this little raising up on his back legs and doing this thing with his feet, almost like, you know, when a horse would rear up and do this, kind of sort of like that, but more in a dancing kind of way. Coming in just very upbeat, very puppy. And doing zoomies. So I'm not sure if that makes sense for you. If Taz was a dog that would just get the zoomies, but he wants to show you, you know, how well he's doing, how there's so much room to run and play. And that part of your soul, you know, that's still on the other side, because as I've talked about before, when we come into body in this lifetime, we can't bring our whole soul with us, our whole spirit with us, because it would just blow the circuits in our human body. We just couldn't, these bodies aren't meant to deal with it. So we just bring part of ourselves, and the core aspect of our soul stays in the soul realm, in the spirit realm. And that's where Taz is now. So, you know, still has contact with you there, and telepathic energetic contact with you this way, and all you have to do really is think of Taz and send love to Taz, and Taz knows, you know, that you're still, that they're not forgotten, and that you still love them, and they still love you, of course, because just because they are no longer with us in body doesn't mean that they are no longer connected to us energetically and emotionally and spiritually. They're still connected to us. So let's see what Phoebe has to say. Oh my gosh, Phoebe comes in and is just super elegant and almost like, oh, what was that cat? And I can't think of the movie, but it's just it's like a really elegant cartoon cat with the long eyelashes, and you know, just buxom figure, and just coming in like, hello, darling. And she's doing this really awesome stretch, you know, to let you know everything is good. It's so chill. Like everything she wants is just right there at our fingertips. And she's showing me another cat. I don't know if you have another cat or if she's just playing with another cat in heaven, or if you have another cat in spirit, but she's curled up and she's playing, running around with another cat. So I hope that helps you, Forest Dream. That's a really nice visual image for me. Hope you enjoyed that. Taylor says Bella can still walk, just sometimes she sits down involuntarily. One appointment with a neurologist coming up, and one appointment for me with you coming up. Oh, yay. Cool. Can't wait for that. Good. So Brina is my cat Libby, Jazzy reincarnated. Let's see. So as Libby comes in, she very much is her own person, although she's getting coaching. So I don't know if Jazzy is in her ear saying, do this, she'll really like this. Or, if you go chase after that toy just in that way, she's going to think, blah, blah. But she's getting coaching. So I don't know if you have seen Libby. Libby just kind of following something across the room or staring off into space. When they're doing that, cats especially have a super easy connection with the other side, with the spirit realm. And so she's just communicating with spirit. And it could be Jazzy, it could be, someone else or something else. But yeah, Livy is Jazzy inspired, but it doesn't feel like she is Jazzy reincarnated. She's saying she is her own person. She has her own soul contract to work on with you in the time that she's here with you, and her own job to do. So I hope that helps. Thank you. LE says, hi, I am here to listen. Y'all from Florida. Hey, me too. I'm from Florida too. I'm down in the Keys. I don't know where you are, LE. Oh, wait a minute. Brina says, I fed Libby fish tonight, and she had to share her perch with another one of my cats when you read Jazzy. Oh. I wonder if that was what that was about, something in the way. Interesting. Sharing more helpful tips. This is awesome. It'd be nice to just go down to readers. That's way less expensive than prescription lenses, for sure. Typhoons, and yes, I hope that yes means you're okay, Carl. It's stopped for now. Okay. Rosalie Rowe Gallagher says, hi. Oh my gosh, I love your hat. I'm new here. Welcome. So glad you're here. You're going to love these people. They're most supportive, awesome group. My dog, Stella, she's 10 years old. Is there a dog or cat waiting to be her sibling? Or is she fine? She's a rescue and grew up with dogs and kids. Now she's by herself. Well, let's see what Stella says. Oh my gosh, she just comes in with this rush of energy. I'm sure she's not a dog that has the zoomies at 10 years old, but she just comes in with this gushing energy, very positive, very loving, super grateful. And I'm being made aware of like coming up and then just putting her head on your knee, her chin on your knee. She feels connected to you. I do also feel like there's another person. I don't know if you have another person in your household or not, but there's another person she likes. But like you're her main person. So when I ask her if she'd like to have a playmate or she'd like to have a sibling, she immediately, without hesitation, said, oh, that'd be fun. So, and she's doing this little thing, like almost dancing with her feet, lifting, just stepping in place, kind of thing, like, oh yeah, that would be fun. Not too big, and no puppies. Holy. She's showing me an image of, having a puppy chewing on her ears. And I was like, yeah, she's kind of past that part. But so I don't know if that makes sense for you. But yes, I think she would enjoy having the company. And that might also help her to keep from becoming so bonded with you that, she would start to get separation anxiety when you're not around. A lot of times if they're used to having other animals around, and then if they get when and then they don't, then they start to get like super connected, like super glue Velcro connected to us. And that's not really all that healthy for them. So if they had someone to keep them company, it might help them feel like, this is what I'm more used to. So energetically, and then that's just me talking. She's excited. I hope that works out for you to be able to do that. Stealth stick bugs. Yeah. Joe says, I am on the West Coast in Washington and I was up all night, hardly slept. It went from advisory to warning to watch all the way up until 8 a.m. this morning. All is well, though. That's good. Oh my God, I had no idea you were right on the coast. Whew. It's got to be scary. I mean, I always think of like the West Coast of Washington and Oregon as being like up on cliffs overlooking, the ocean. I don't really think of it as like where I come from on the Gulf Coast of Texas, where everything's flat, and it's real easy for a storm surge to just roll through a whole town. So gosh, I hope you're in a safe spot, Joe, and I'm glad everything's okay. It's my name, my channel. So I guess we'll look up Carl Heese. I don't know. I'm already a subscriber, and so I get notifications and I just click on them. One of those. I just keep my rotation until I know to go search for somebody new, and then I just add them. So I get notifications every time somebody does something. I love that. Joe Lombardi says, Siri, you're going to love the effects. Oh, Sherry, you're going to love the effects of cataract surgery when you can see all the vivid colors again. Oh, that's a great point. Yeah. Dia. Hey, hi, Dia. If you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming and joining us tonight. If you have a question, feel free to type it into the chat. Thanks for being here. DK says, I have 2 cats. One at random times will pee on my bed. I will telepathically talk to him. I get an immediate response. Trouble is, I can't sense anything back from them. Any thoughts? Well, the first thought that I would like to share is that they do think in pictures. So when you telepathically communicate to them, I'm not sure how you're doing that. If you're doing that through thoughts, because they can receive your thoughts. They can also receive the imagery. So it's interesting if you're sending them thoughts, if you're also picturing it in your mind as you go. So like for the one that randomly pees on the bed, a really good example would be reinforcing peeing in the litter box, and the bed is no good. Let me talk. I don't know their name. I will say that in my experience, when I've done private readings for other people who have had cats with this problem, it's generally about trying to make a point about something, and it's something that they want shifted. That's something that they want changed. And I'm trying to keep it general, but thinking back through all the ones that I've done recently, that what they have in common, but keeping it general. So not sensing anything back from them is really more about the way you send them energy and the way you send your telepathy, your telepathic thoughts or images, or however you send it, may not necessarily be the way that they communicate back. So it's a great habit to get into. Once you send it, ask them for signs that they understand, and then notice what you notice. You might see something out of the corner of your eye. You might get a feather. You might get a cat toy. You might, just see them act differently or nod their head or, blink at you with slow blinks. Those kinds of things, those are the different kinds of signals that they can use to acknowledge that they've received your message. There are all different ways. You can also notice what you feel in your body when you think about each name, each cat. Notice how if you have a feeling anywhere on your body, like sometimes for me, I'll feel a stirring in my heart. Other times I'll feel like something in my tummy, depending on what it is, or tingling paws. So you just notice if your hands and feet start to tingle. Yeah, that could be a sign. They may also come and physically brush up against you to acknowledge that they've gotten your message. It's just going to take a bit of practice. And then if you want to know what they're saying back, you can ask them to also come and visit you, like in your dreams. And sometimes you will dream about them or astral travel with them, and at which point you're both in spirit and you can communicate back and forth all you want during astral travel. So I hope that helps, DK. I know that was kind of a lot, but there are just a number of different ways that you can fine tune your ability to hear what they have to say. For me, I see a lot of things in my mind's eye. It's almost like charades. But I do also hear things and I feel things. Those are my primary, but I do obviously smell things when they want me to smell it, and I'll get taste in my mouth. And you may notice that too. You may notice a taste in your mouth that can't be anything but them, if you know what I mean. It'll be relevant to whatever it is that you're talking with them about. So anyway, I hope that helps. Thanks, DK. Excellent question. LE says, is there a buckskin quarter horse named Tex I'll be reunited with on the other side with my dogs and cats? LE, there is going to be every animal you have ever had a connection with or a soul contract with. And I say that because sometimes we may not feel connected with an animal, but we may have had like what we would consider to be a random encounter with an animal, maybe a snake that scared the bejeebies out of us or bit us, or maybe, a buck or a deer, that you just see and you both just sit and stare at each other for a while before they move on. Those kinds of random encounters, those could be part of an awareness contract that wild animal is trying to bring to you. So, and those animals, when you cross into spirit, are all going to be there, because most of the time, just like we have our soul tribe, the people that we do our incarnations over and over with, we just come back playing different roles in each other's lives to support each other in our evolutionary journey. The animals kind of have their own concentric circle over here, and they come back with us. Sometimes just for one lifetime, but sometimes for multiples, and they come back. And it's sort of like, even if by the time you cross over, they have reincarnated, their soul is still there. The core of their soul, just like the core of our soul always stays in spirit, the core of their soul always stays in spirit. And I want to say, I wish I had a way to illustrate this, but I kind of do. Hang on. No, that won't work. Picture a disco ball, if you will. So picture a disco ball, all those little facets of mirrors, right? And all those little facets are all the different lifetimes that your soul has had. And if you zero in on one little facet, that's this lifetime when you're coming in as LE. And they have the same incarnation, it's like they have that same multifaceted, multi-life history with their soul. So you will definitely see Tex and be reunited with Tex, as well as with your dogs and cats. Definitely. He'll be there. It'll be a fabulous reunion. And you'll be able to go and do whatever you choose. I have had people and animals tell me about, running with their person bareback, just flying down a stretch of beach on the other side in the spirit. things like that they're looking forward to doing when you get there. So, and you can ask for them to visit you in your dreams as well. You don't have to wait until then to be able to have contact with them. So just in that almost asleep phase, when you're laying down and you're getting ready for bed and, you're just about to close your eyes and just say, hey, Tux, I'd be happy to have a dream visit anytime you want to come. And then repeat that as often as you think about it, and it will happen. It's amazing how it always happens. They hear us and they're ready. So I hope that works. And yes, definitely Tex will be there. Love that. S. Steele says, hi, Donna. Recently, I spent some time with a cat at the shelter named Noir. I really liked him and would like to adopt him, but I don't think now is the best time for it. It says continued. Let's see. But I told myself if I was ever able to adopt him, I'd name him Dracornor as a little family inside joke to keep part of his original name too. The next day, I was watching IASIP and the episode. I'm not sure what that is. IASIP episode. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, anyway, hold on. There's more, y'all. It mentioned the name Drakkar Noir. Oh my God. So whatever that show was, brought it out. It's amazing. Nothing happens by accident. Is this just a general message from my guides, or is it a hint that I should put in an adoption application? Well, what do you think? What are the odds that could happen? And I found that animals, we like to plan for them. We want to be able to give them the best possible home we can. But there is, in my opinion, plenty of money in the universe. And when we expand our heart and our hearts and our lives to take in an animal, the universe expands our abundance to be able to and help us care for them. So I really think that, if you want to stretch your heart and open your home, that the universe is going to reward and bless those efforts. And Drakkar is going to be one happy cat. That's awesome. That's really neat. And thank you for going up to the shelter. A lot of people don't know that you can just go up there and hang out with them and give them some social time, because a lot of times, especially cats in shelters, they can go for months without contact sometimes with anybody other than the person who cleans their cage, their enclosure. They don't really get any loved on and any social time. So I really appreciate you doing that, whether you adopt Require or not. But if you do, please come back and tell us. I'm live here at least once a week. Hopefully, most of the time I try to do twice a week, but yeah. Anyway, come and let us know. And good luck. Brina says, thank you. I could see Jazzy coaching her. She was probably that kind of cat. L.E. says, near the intercoastal Indian rocks and Bel Air beaches. Oh, Sand Key. Cool. That's a beautiful area. Y'all, that's part of Florida. For the rest of them. Rose says, oh, thank you. Perfect. Smaller, older dog. Makes sense. Yeah, my husband Vance is her dog dad. Oh, okay. That's the other person that she likes. Oh, cool. Yeah, well, I hope it works out. And yeah, let us know if you end up with another animal in your house. I'd love to read for them too. DK says Alfredo is the peer. Yeah. Alfredo, this is just me talking. But when I had 4 cats in my household, I started having one that would pee outside the litter box. And she was like the oldest of all of them. And she never had peed outside the litter box. Every now and then, like one of them would think that they were all the way in, but they wouldn't quite be, that kind of thing. And then I had a couple of male cats that just felt the need to spray every once in a while. But she never really did. And then all of a sudden she started peeing outside the litter box. And what I did that really helped her, and this may help Alfredo, is I just made another litter box and sort of like gave it to her energetically, like, this is your box. You can use this one. This one's just for you. And I just stuck it over in a corner, and, she started using it. And I also redoubled my efforts, to make sure that I was scooping them out every day so that, she just wanted her own clean litter box. And she stopped peeing outside the litter box. So maybe that would be something. I don't know. If you have already done that, it could be something else, like I said, about trying to make a point, or create a shift. But anyway, just an idea. Let me go back and see if I think I may have skipped over some questions when I was trying to read that 4-part thing from S. Steele. That was a great story. Thank you for that. Dia, there it is. I'm helping a friend with a young new dog, Goldie. What is making him bark and bite when the phone rings? Bark and bite when the phone rings. That's interesting. I will try to tune in to Goldie, but since Goldie has another human, the connection may not be as strong. Oh. So what I'm hearing from Goldie is a clicker and a buzzer. So I don't know if Goldie had been like in training as a puppy, and somebody was using one of those clicker trainers, kind of thing. But there was also like an to like tell her no. When that was whatever it was they were training her, if she did something they didn't like, they would at her. So she's touchy about that. I don't know if there's a way to like change the ringtone to something softer or change it to something melodic. Not really sure. That would maybe take a little more of an in-depth reading to get more information from Goldie on that. But this is what I'm getting, is that there's something about the noise that's definitely triggering her. So I hope that helps. Oh, Brina says Livia's petite like Jazzy. Yeah. No wonder Jazzy's taken her as a protege. I can't wait to see if you get this cat as Steele. That's going to be so cool. Okay, coming on down. Oh my gosh, it's already after 9 o'clock. Let's see. Everybody, hello, hello, hello. Patty Gallagher, hi, I'm glad you're here. I hope I've caught everybody. I'm so grateful for you guys. Yes, DK, and let me know how your practice goes. That'd be awesome. LE, wildlife everywhere. Yes, there is in that part of the state. Oh my gosh. We have lots of wildlife here, but it's mostly creepy crawlies, birds and fish and stuff like that, and lots of geckos and iguanas and chickens where I am. Bora Bora, hi Bora Bora, nice to see you. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming in to show support. Oh, thank you. IASIP means it's always sunny in Philadelphia. It's a comedy show. Oh gosh, I don't get around much, and I don't watch much TV. But thank you for letting me know. Oh, Leah, I love you too. Thanks for being here. Oh my gosh, y'all. Thank you again for coming. I'm not going to keep you all night. Oh, Estiel says the issue is that my senior dog might have GI cancer and he's never lived with a cat. I'm afraid he might be too rough with a cat. What you can do if you want to try them out, and again, this is just me talking, I've done a lot of work with rescues and transports and whatnot, is that you can take them for a visit before you bring them home into your home. And then if that goes well, bring them in and let them get acquainted with like one part of your home, say maybe the kitchen and the mudroom area, or put them in your bedroom, master bedroom with a bathroom, so that there's a place for the litter box, and let them get used to the smells and the energy of your house. And then gradually you'll be able to like open the door and let them meet each other. First, they'll sniff each other under the door, and then you can let them meet each other. And most of the time, that seems to work pretty well. But cats have a really good way of getting out of the way of a dog if they don't want to be messed with. They'll go hide, or they'll get up high where the dog can't reach them. So, but I would definitely try out like visits first and maybe a sleepover before you make an adoption official, just to be sure. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for everything. Oh, we killed a rabbit once. Yeah, we don't. It'll be a little bit different story with a cat, I believe. But I'm glad you go to the shelter to play with them. That's really sweet. Okay. Leah says, can you blame her? I want a clean bathroom too. Yeah, that was kind of her thing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I found these pillows. I've had them for a while. I appreciate that. All right, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you guys for being here. Paul and Giuseppe, thank you for the kind words. And I'll look forward to seeing you again next time. I'll be back this weekend. Love y'all. Bye for now. See ya.